So you want to see if there's any questions?
So any questions for Lee and Dale before we move on? The invisible middle thing, sharing of little p power. Forgot it.
I have a quick question for Dale, actually. So when you talk about building the trust, I'm just curious how flexible is that trust? Has anybody evaluated that? Which is to say, so if you kind of build that rapport and that trust with say some constituents on a project, and then the next time you do something kind of goes sideways, and does that trust endure even in the face of those kinds of adversities?
I don't know that it's been studied formally that I know of. But I forgot to tell you the end of the Dixie story, which was 3 years after the Duck Swains project was finished. They then had their travel management plan was passed. They had 6 appeals, and 5 of them were collaborated, and 1 was just decided in their favor. So no litigation. And then the stakeholder group is still active today, the stakeholder group that they built. So it can have enduring qualities, but I don't know that anybody is, I don't know that anybody is evaluating trust over time. Do you have a cast?
Well, I think that there's some evidence something that Dale said that I think is really true and borne out pretty well is that none of this stuff is a one-off exercise. And so if you blow it this time, then if you blow it badly, then people carry that baggage around for a while, and vice versa. If you do a really great job, build a lot of trust, and then you kind of make some mistakes, you can have a little bit of a get out of jail free card, particularly if you handle it by saying, going back and drawing on that trust and rebuilding. And so the notion of collaboration as this one-off thing around this one project that you can do this one time is really, it's way too cost ineffective to do that. And B, that's not how everybody else experiences it. Just like you don't in your own life, when somebody treats you poorly, you remember that, or treats you really well, you remember it, and that's true in this world too. And so every interaction you're having today influences the interaction you've had. And you can see this very well in wildfires, where if a type 1 team comes into a big high-risk event, high-profile thing, does a really bad job, say, happens sometimes, something really goes wrong with the relationship stuff, forget the fire, just the relationship. The supervisor and the staff can pay for that for a long time. And so your actions are also pretty transferable to other people, because once you become the big bureaucracy of the Forest Service, you can unpack it. But
that's a good point. There have been studies in other settings, not natural resource collaboration, but fire, for example. They have looked at trust over time and inter-team members and what happens over time. It's easy to lose, but difficult to gain back once you've lost it. And so there is research in social literature. A lot of this, it's kind of normal human interaction that we kind of tend to forget about because we're embroiled in conflicts, and it's hard to sometimes see that. But the interaction really helps build trust. Even if they don't agree with all the decisions, if somebody comes back and explains why, and I've got actually have to support that. People come back and say why, explain why. That's so much more meaningful than just, all right, give us your input, boom, here's the decision and it didn't meet your needs, versus if you go back. That's the whole notion of the building. You can build that trust and it can be more enduring as a result.
I'm wondering, this is all kind of focused for our external comments. Would you consider employees the internal public? And I say that because it seems to me when we're talking about that little P power, if you're in a collaborative process and you're allowing someone to make a decision that maybe makes some concessions in a certain way or another way although it still meets the force plan, purpose, and all that kind of stuff. I've seen employees themselves be upset over the decision because we're giving in or making concessions where they think there's they're biologists, it's the wrong decision.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, definitely. Internal dynamics are equally important and have become more so in the last 15, 20 years. When I first started teaching at Utah State, I was the director for outdoor recreation short course, which brought in primarily Forest Service folks from all over the country to talk about migration, dealing with the public. And I used to ask them what their major conflicts were before I did a conflict management section. The beginning of this, in 1990, when I first started there, almost all the conflicts were external. And that migrated through time to many of them, if not most, being internal. And on the Dixie project, another well-hidden secret that didn't show up in any of my slides anywhere was that they had two people, internal people who left the forest, who were on the team, on the Duck Swain's access management team. One was a wildlife biologist and one was a hydrologist. And both of them were purely advocating for closing roads. And it wasn't until that they left that the internal dynamics, and then poor supervisor, of course, empowering the team to go out and work with external stakeholders that have actually worked. So yeah, internal stakeholders I think are as important.
I guess just to add on to that, I did a project looking at ID teams in one national forest around the issue of riparian recreation, and the composition of the ID teams included a hydrologist and a fish biologist and a recreation person and other people. And we looked at differences in perceptions and perspectives on the ID team process for riparian recreation among those different professionals. And one thing we found is that the ologists, as they're always referred to, which I always have a problem with, on the team, were connecting with folks from regulatory agencies, and they were seen to be in alliance. Like the fish biologist and the folks from the EPA or some other organization, regulatory organization, were seen to be in alliance against the folks internally to the process in the same forest, in the same team. So there are various forms of that team, not just within, but within connected to other channels.
It makes that shared goals notion. How do you define the issues and the shared goals? So important.
And there was a sense that, am I allied to my profession as a biologist, or am I allied to this team and to this agency's process, and that being torn between those two things.
So Lee has a paper on the topic. Go to the PNW website.
I was wondering if you could talk about the role of the experts in the process. You had it on your slide, but probably both of you could address the different roles of an expert, whether it be a scientist or some other internal or external expert.
I have a quote. There's a book by Frank Fisher, wrote it in 2000. It's on experts in natural resources and relationships with collaboration that is quite excellent. His argument, which was on my last slide, but I ran out of time. Basically, his argument is we need to be thinking about, because the Forest Service, for example, is moving from really the expert science, rigorous, empirical superstar of the 1970s who's taken out the terrain to a collaborative, bottom-up embrace. And it's not that the expertise is not important, it's the role that experts play. And his argument is that they need to become and learn how to be facilitators, not dictators of decisions. So the quote that I had for you was, rather than providing technical answers designed to bring political discussions to an end, which is how we a lot of psychologically think about it. We've got this group here and this group here, and then we ask the GIS or we ask the hydrologist to answer that question. He's basically saying the task is to assist citizens in their efforts to examine their own interests and to make their own decisions. So he's basically trying to change the paradigm to the expert as providing input to a more political process. Beyond merely providing analytic research and empirical data, the expert acts as a facilitator, we put that in quotes, facilitator of public learning and empowerment. So, and that's why I said right at the beginning, we're talking about two paradigm changes. The line officer, the distinct line of command that the Forest Service has been, and the expert model that we followed for 100 years, and now we're going to collaborate. That's a major change in orientation.
I just reiterate that. One thing I wanted to add is I'm working on this paper now with a colleague, Portland State, on crowdsourcing. And I'm not sure if you all followed some of the things that are going on in terms of way people are contributing data and information and knowledge to sort of shared, aggregative, cumulative sources of knowledge and information. And there's a lot of questions now out about whether we can harness the power of the public to contribute information about something that's happening out in the forest or the landscape, and how scientific would that be, and what kinds of measures or criteria will be used to evaluate the validity of that information, the veracity of that information, and what are some of the problems embedded in the act of being able to go online and be able to contribute to some wiki database about a particular problem or issue. I don't have any, I'm sort of wrestling with those ideas right now. Who is the expert? We're all experts now because we can all go on Wikipedia and write something. We can all contribute to this body of knowledge.
Which brings up another issue in terms of planning and the traditional rational planning process. For decades, we've gotten so locked up into getting minutia, getting as detailed information as we can about so many subjects that analysis paralysis absolutely stopped documents from moving forward, missing forests for the trees. And so one of the things Lee and I have been talking about is this idea of how to do a more coarse filter view of the empirical, and I mean social and biological and economic, how to do more of a coarse filter view of it, then move into specific issues, and then those issues say, well, here's the detailed data we need. So we're not trying to at the front end collect all the detailed data and put together a 1,000-page document, 500-page document, but in fact using issues that help suggest specific data, specific stakeholders, specific experts that can become part of the collaborative process.
I'm going to cut you off now,
Okay.
so we can continue on. Thank you, guys.